it was a rumour going around at school that they couldn't paint her all over because she would suffocate.
Well, I wonder if that's because in some of the love scenes, James Bond maybe blocked off her.
Story is that you've got a secret wife who you keep in the garage, talking about the old time, like two old codgers talking about the old times.
Yeah.
A bit like this podcast.
Lethal colostomy bag. I don't know what it's going to be called, but it's definitely not a weapon.
It's time to adjust those shoulder pads, backcomb what's left of your hair, and jump into the DeLorean for a look back at what's possibly the best decade anyone could ever have grown up in.
Shall we play a game?
This is Bring Back the 80s with your hosts James Alderson and me, Andy Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen,
welcome
to another edition of the Bring Back the 80s
Let's do every other word together.
Episode 18 now, James.
Oh, certificate 18. Maybe we should.
Oh, yes.
Action films are they had to be 18s.
Yes.
You're showing blood. What's wrong with you? It's an 18 certificate. It has to be.
It was funny the way that the what you can depict in a movie has changed over the years.
Yeah.
If you think about it, I'm thinking back to the days when they had X certificates, wasn't it?
Oh.
Do you remember that far back, James?
No.
I don't know when they changed. I don't know when they changed
In
it.
the 40s, I think.
I remember it was. I remember when Saturday Night Fever came out, which I think was 79, 78.
Okay.
That was an X certificate.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
Because
hip wiggling.
Because there was a
sex in it.
There was a bit of a scene in a taxi.
Oh, I'll have to watch
Did
that.
you miss that one there? Yeah.
But I do remember when they brought out the 12 certificate, which was a sort of a late 80s thing. We went to see Delinquents with Kylie Minogue, and she got her boobs out in it. And I went with my cousin, who was about 10, and we convinced him to let him in. I sat at the back of the cinema in Portsmouth, one of the old smoky velvet seated cinemas, and as she got her boobs out, my cousin went, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" I was like, chill, you're giving the game away that you're a kid. Christ. So we were just sat there trying to be cool and calm and collected, and he gave the game away that he was underage. But certificates have changed over the years, and definitely what makes them an 18 gives the game away.
Yeah.
I don't even know if things like Die Hard were 18. They were probably a 15 or something.
But the thing with those 12s as well, they confused it by then having a 12A as well, which would mean you could go in as a 12-year-old, but you have to have grown up with you.
Yeah, or if you didn't, you could. Oh, I don't know what it was, but they mixed it up a bit.
They made it a little bit too complicated. Thing is now, though, all the certificates and everything are just completely pointless because everything's online and on the internet, and anybody can watch anything and do now.
Yeah, but don't do
kids.
the legal
Just
way.
say no. Just say no. So a reminder of our mystery sound of the 80s, James.
Yeah.
This is what it is this time around. We're not giving too much away if we say that it is an iconic TV channel. But which TV channel are we talking about?
Yes, I think I know.
Have a little think. If you do know the answer, let us know in the comments to this very video that you're watching. Chance to win a super soft,
too soft really,
super soft Bring Back the 80s t-shirt.
Yeah, we've got the vinyls, the VHS tapes on there, Pac-Man. Lovely.
Rubik's Cube as well, which I just made a start on, and that was as far as I ever got with them. No. Just making a start on the James.
Peel the stickers off.
Never, ever managed to complete one of those.
Yeah, you folded that really badly.
Oh, sorry, James. What is it with these kids that could just go? They just go like this. They just do it behind their heads, and they could do it. Yeah,
it's YouTube for you, isn't it?
Yeah,
didn't have that, did we?
No, we did. That's why. Obviously, if I was to watch enough YouTube videos, I'd know.
Yeah, it's amazing. You could just go on YouTube now and go, "Oh wow, I'll solve that riddle." You know, you have to have a Haynes manual to fix your Fiesta, but now it's just like, "Oh, I see. That's fine. That's how you do it." And then you go and do it. It's brilliant, isn't it? Except when they show you how to fix an iPhone, and then you go onto it and it shows you an iPhone from 2009, and you think, no, that's not going to work. But yeah, good old Google.
Thing about with trying to fix your own iPhone as well, even if you do manage to get the tools to prise the cover off, everything inside is too small.
Oh yeah,
for our eyes to ever be able to see.
Oh, there's stuff in there, is there?
There's stuff in there, James.
Just a blurred rectangle.
And you know, back in the olden days when you were fixing your bike, if you dropped a little thing on the carpet, you just feel around and it would be there.
Yeah.
If you drop a bit of the inside of an iPhone,
no,
just never going to find it.
But flooring is all one colour these days. That helps. Because in the 80s, it was a myriad of oranges, browns, beiges and greens, flowers, and God knows what pattern. Paisley.
Are you ready for our first clip, James?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
It's another mystery quiz for you.
Okay.
I need to know for 1 point the name of this movie, and for a bonus point, I need to know the year it came out.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go.
Okay.
Two newly paired cops who are complete opposites must put aside their differences in order to catch a gang of drug smugglers.
Oh.
Your answer is...
I remember this because it's action and it's comedy. I haven't seen it for so long.
Tell me the year first.
Oh my goodness. I'm thinking of the age I was when I saw it, because I think I was old enough to get the jokes and the stuff. I'm going to say it was late 80s. I'm going to go 88.
So close, James. 87.
Yeah, I was going to say 87, but I thought maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was a bit older. Is it Tango and Cash?
87.
Is it Tango and Cash? Oh, not Tango and Cash.
It's not Tango and Cash.
Oh, where is it?
It's not Tango and Cash.
I was going to say Tango and Cash.
The one that I was looking for...
that you're still trying to find?
Let's see if it's come out right.
Opposites.
He's a criminal's worst nightmare. A cop who enjoys the danger.
How stupid of me.
Just bring him down. They really want to jump? Well, then that's fine with me. Come on. Wait, what do you mean? Wait a minute. What
He was ready to retire. Now, he's going to wish he had.
Gun!
Raj, meet your new partner.
New partner?
Too old for this. If these guys can just stand each other.
What you got in there?
Boy and Smith?
A lot of old timers carry those.
The bad guys don't stand a chance.
Don't kill anybody. Don't kill anybody. I'm too old for this.
Are you as good as you say you are?
Nobody can touch me.
Suppose we better register you as a lethal weapon. You ever met anybody you didn't kill?
Well, I haven't killed you yet.
Tango and Cash.
It's very similar, to be honest. Very similar. But Lethal Weapon, wasn't that one of the... He was always retiring, wasn't he, old Danny Glover? Every what they did is, I'm getting too old for this shit. That was the phrase.
He said that twice in that one clip.
I know. Well, they edited that bit out, of course. That would be really naughty. But yes, too old for this shit. That was the soundbite of the whole series. Was that one of the first proper films he was ever in? Mel Gibson. Lethal Weapon.
He's very young in that, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, epic run, and they're doing another one, I believe, as well. Lethal Weapon 4, I think that'll be.
Who's going to be in it though?
They're in it.
Are they both in it? Wow.
Yeah. And I don't know. They'll be just sat on a porch and rocking chairs together. I don't know what it'll be.
Talking about the old time, like two old codgers talking about the old times.
Yeah.
A bit like this podcast.
Lethal colostomy bag. I don't know what it's going to be called, but it's definitely not a weapon.
But can you imagine them doing the stunts then at the sort of ages that we're talking about now?
Yeah, I know.
Even going downstairs is like a big deal. And when
They'd
you
have to have a lift.
When you sometimes you used to, if you were doing some kind of exercise, you'd pull a muscle, and you could do like that. And now you can pull a muscle when you're just turning over in bed, can't you?
Yeah, or just sat still.
Just be very careful.
Oh, my back's gone. What's happened?
You made jest the other night. I had a stretch in bed and it gave me cramp.
Oh God, it's all over, isn't
terrible,
it?
James.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrible.
As I said in Aliens, it's game over, man. Game over.
Definitely. So we're on the movies, the action movies.
So was that Lethal Weapon?
That was Lethal Weapon.
I knew it was.
And it was from 1987.
That's why I said 88, you see. 87, that's right. I got the wrong film. Whoops.
So, that's what it was. But that had everything in it, didn't it? It had the comedy, it had the action.
Yeah. I mean, can I just say that the 80s was full of mismatched mismatched duos, working together in police format. There was a lot of that going on, of, partners who didn't suit each other. A lot of that. So I can be forgiven.
We'll see. We'll see. Are you ready for your next one?
Yes, please.
Here is your description of this. Framed by their ruthless arch nemesis, a pair of mismatched LAPD officers must put their differences aside to get even with a brutal crime baron who sent them to rot in a maximum security prison.
Lethal Weapon.
It's like the template. You're right, though. The template of the movie is
to do it, haven't they?
Just there's two cops.
Yeah,
they're both cops.
Yeah,
but they're both completely different.
Obviously, there was a time where there were 3 cops, where it was Axel Foley, Beverly Hills Cop. But they've got to put him and the 2 straight-laced ones. But yeah, you chuck 2 mixed people together, it's what could go wrong.
Yes.
It's brilliant, isn't it? That might be Tango and Cash.
Let's have a look and see what the Magic TV says, James.
You're gonna be a bad mother.
Oh, for goodness sake. Are you joking?
RoboCop. What is he?
He's a cyborg, you idiot.
All hero.
What are your prime directives?
I've just read out the wrong one, didn't I?
I was going to say, hang about. I was thinking, how's that explanation fitting this?
Let me rewind a little bit here.
No, I don't want this. He is a duo, half man, half robot, isn't he? So he is a cop duo.
The law. You are under arrest.
Oh. What is this shit?
Justice gets an upgrade.
Looking for me? Your move, creep.
RoboCop.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
Brilliant.
So anyway, James.
Yeah.
Do you want the quiz? Do you want the one line that might describe that?
Well, what's that RoboCop? What's that RoboCop? I guess. Give us a 2-line or 1 line.
In a dystopic.
Yeah.
In a dystopic and crime-ridden Detroit, a terminally wounded cop returns to the force as a powerful cyborg, haunted by submerged memories.
Oh no, we keep coming back to him.
Nothing to do with the cops who are mismatched at all.
No. With the famous line, "Nobody puts baby in a corner." Is that the film?
That's the one. I'll be back.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that film was actually not bad, really, all things considered. Pretty horrific first few opening scenes with him. I don't know if I saw it first time around. Some of the effects are a bit off, but how he becomes RoboCop is awful. The actual scene.
Oh yeah, because they rebuilt. He's like the $6 Million Man, but worse, isn't he?
Yeah, and them getting brutally hurt and all that. But the follow up, some of the RoboCops. Oh my goodness, he could learn to fly and all this shit.
Scary thing is, though, James, they are actually making the RoboCops in real life now, aren't they? With robots that can do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's in real life. It is our worst nightmare has come true.
Well, at the moment, though, they just say wrong item in the bagging area. So we're all right. We're all right. I'd hate to give one of them a gun. Your move, creep. It's like, it's just a lettuce. Leave it. I'll just put the lettuce on the other side. Sorry, don't shoot me. Yeah. So
at the moment, those self-checkouts don't shoot you, do you? When you've put the wrong item through, but then they will be shooting
with
you.
AI, there might be.
Yeah, I think they may be, yes. But yes. Are you ready for the next clip, James?
Yeah, what could this be?
Shall I tell you the story?
Oh, go on.
Behind this next clip.
Is it RoboCop?
Framed by their ruthless arch nemesis.
Oh, okay.
A pair of mismatched LAPD officers must put their differences aside to get even with a brutal crime baron who sent them to rot in a maximum security prison. What could it be, James?
Oh dear.
What could it be?
I think it's Big.
Let's have a look and see if we've been tangoed.
I'll tell you one thing. Whoever set us up is really connected.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Relax. Soak. And don't flatter yourself.
Meet Ray Tango. He likes money.
Easy come, easy go.
But doesn't bother with cash. Meet Gabe Cash. He won't dance around trouble and doesn't mind stepping on toes.
I hate you karate guys.
Two of LA's top rival cops are having a tough time staying in rhythm.
You know me, huh?
Yeah, I hear you're the second best cop in LA.
That's funny. I hear the same thing about you.
But they're going to have to work together, even if it kills them.
Like now!
We'll take it.
No,
That's one of a kind.
we won't put a scratch on it. Did you sleep with my sister?
I was so drunk, I don't remember, okay?
Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. Tango and Cash.
Ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Bit of trans in there.
Yeah, obviously, as we know with Kurt Russell, he likes to put a bit of an outfit on, make an effort. But that Tango and Cash, and even that voiceover guy, he was the 80s voiceover, wasn't he?
Everything.
Tango
He
and
was on
Cash.
everything.
Yeah, but it was just... I mean, it's trying to be Lethal Weapon, wasn't it? Then I don't think they did a Tango and Cash 2. And Kurt Russell, in my opinion, never quite got to the levels he could have done as that super A-list. I know he did Escape from New York and all these sorts of things, but it never quite sort of...
He was no Arnie, was he?
No, and obviously David didn't have the muscles, but he certainly had the humour. He was a Mel Gibson-esque sort of style, wasn't he? So those two worked really well. I thought it was a good film. And I remember going to see it at the cinema because that was at the height of Stallone's fame, really. And he really carried that with his... with a three-piece suit and machine gun. What that did remind me of, that clip, though, is a lot of action movies had guns with things attached. They weren't just normal guns. They had things on and a thing on and a something and another tube here, and it's like, it just shoots a bullet, mate. You don't need all those little things.
There was a thing, wasn't there, for a while where every gun had to have a massive fuck-off torch on it.
Yeah.
You were going into a dark place and your torch would be this big.
Huge things.
Or for our American viewers, a flashlight.
Yeah. They'd have a flashlight. They'd have some sort of laser guiding red dot. And how shit are you at shooting? You don't need a red dot. You do this for a living, mate. It's like, yeah, but I want to shoot you exactly that point. Yeah, lots of attachments.
Fine in the dark with those red dots. As soon as the sun comes out, they've not a clue.
Stupid, isn't it? Yeah. It looks. You just think you're being looked at by a Terminator the whole time.
But so that was the movie. It was Tango and Cash from what year do you think?
Well, I thought it was 88, didn't I? When I thought it was Tango Cash. Maybe it was a bit earlier. Let's say 87 then.
89.
No, I should have gone with 88.
89.
Okay, all right. Yeah, good.
There we go.
Good.
So almost 90s. But that is such an 80s film.
Oh, yeah.
There's not even got a flavour of the 90s.
No.
You know, some movies, like we always say that Home Alone,
yes,
we've allowed into our Hall of 80s fame.
Yeah.
Because although it was 79, it had the 80s vibe going on.
90. It was 90.
90.
79 then.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying.
I do, exactly.
You know what I'm saying.
I just want to
it was out by 1 year.
and a decade.
Well, they had the flavour of the decade rather than...
As did Pretty Woman.
Yes.
It was all very 80s-esque. But that was, I mean... There was it was all special. It was no special effects. There was just like explosions and lots of shooting and very few people getting hurt. Classic 80s.
Classic 80s. Classic 80s. Just a reminder, if this is the first time you've come across this, thank the person who pointed you in our direction.
Yeah.
Which is always nice. If you're liking what you're watching, you're liking what you're hearing, we always ask in every episode, sometimes people pay attention, sometimes people don't. Please share this episode with one other person who you think might share the same sort of sense of humour as you. If they're slightly politically incorrect, if it was the days where you could say what you like, do what you like, and nobody would get offended, then chances are this is the podcast for you and for them.
Yeah, but we are nice people.
At the end of the day, James, at the end of the day. But the thing is, but you have to just be so careful now what you say about anything. It's like, when I'm on the radio, James, I can't say anything about anything.
No?
Can't say nothing about nothing.
Just play music.
All I can do.
Funnily enough, when I'm on stage, I say everything about anyone.
You too, James, don't you?
And it doesn't matter, does it? Because if you haven't got a sense of humour, you don't go to comedy. But I think the general rule, as we always say, is that, you don't say things that are going to upset people. There we go. And about them and about certain types of people. But you can say stuff. Just as you've always been, hopefully throughout your life, just be nice.
Just be nice.
Yeah.
Just be nice. Remember, a friend in need is a friend indeed.
Okay, how can I help?
Something. If you've only just come across us and you're watching this episode, you're thinking, who is that gorgeous bird that's
It's me.
behind James there?
Yeah.
Story is that you've got a secret wife who you keep in the garage. Obviously, your real wife has now, having seen the previous episode and this episode as well, knows that you were definitely a big fan of the movie Mannequin.
Yes.
From the 80s as well.
I always linger around a shop window.
So much so that you've actually not only lingered, James, you've gone in and bought and taken home.
Yes, I mean, don't tell CNA, obviously, because they're missing a mannequin. But yes, I couldn't resist, really. It's she's the perfect figure of a lady.
Does she actually come to life at night?
In my head, she does, and weirdly, she does. She is very stiff. But you know, for wives of a certain age, they're stiff. Probably,
definitely.
If they're watching this, they're probably and some men probably watching her. Anyway,
I'm just thinking. I always have this mental picture of your garage. I've never been to it.
No.
Oh, sure. For our American friends, a garage, which is in the house. I just get the feeling that one of these days, James, I'm going to see your garage and you on the TV news as they break open the door with one of those, you know, those sledgehammer things that they have to get in there. What on earth have you? What on earth have you got secreted away in there?
A lot of sweets.
A lot of sweets.
A lot of puppies. And a tracksuit. I don't know what. And a young person's rail card. No, I don't. It is just lots of boxes. Lots of boxes categorised.
How does your wife put up with you?
Well, she's not happy, to be honest. But that's nothing to do with the 80s collection. It's just me.
Ready for the final clip?
Yes, please.
Of the evening.
Yes.
Here is your one word, or your one word would be a bit too hard. Your 1 or 2 sentence description of a film. Are you ready?
Yeah.
For this one?
Go on in.
In a dystopian America, a falsely convicted policeman gets his shot at freedom when he must forcibly participate in a TV game show where convicts, runners, must battle killers for their freedom. Oh, yes.
That's a beautiful film.
Could be a bit of a clue in the sentence.
Some of it, yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So, first of all, tell us the year you think this might be from.
Oh, my goodness. I want to say really early 80s, but I've got a funny feeling it isn't. 86?
For 1 point. If you'd have said 87, you would have been right.
Really?
But you're always within a year, James. I'll give you that.
Yeah, 1 year out.
For an extra half a bonus point, can you name the famous actor that was in this?
Oh, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Of course, it was Arnie.
Yeah.
So the film is
Running Man.
Let's have a look and see if the Magic TV says you're right, James.
In the year 2017, an innocent man accused of a crime has a choice: hard time or prime time.
Sensational. Perfect contestant. I want him.
He must pay or play the running man.
On your mark.
I'll be back.
Go!
The highest rated TV show in history.
Guess they want us to stay.
It's a game between life and death.
Give you a lift?
Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Running Man. He's playing for a prize. The prize is his life.
How about the life?
The Running Man.
Pretty close to what we're actually doing on TV now. And I don't know if you saw there was a Tesla Cybertruck in there as well.
Yes.
Definitely in there as well.
Yes.
But that is the kind of stuff almost that we're getting to do in real life. And they were saying that's going to come in 2017. Obviously, we're not going as far as people killing each other.
No.
But you look at some of the reality stuff that's on TV now, it's kind of going that way.
I don't think it's going about fighting and killing each other, but that was so. The whole thing was just so cheesy, wasn't it? Running Man, considering that was late 80s, when you saw how they produced things like Predator and Aliens, that it was just so unrealistic, wasn't it?
Well, it had a net, though, didn't it? It had a net with like a Spider-Man, like a Spider-Man.
But like Total Recall, same sort of feel to it, all very garish and bold and brash and just corny lines. And he even said, "I'll be back" in that.
Again,
call back to his bloody Terminator from a few years before, snuck that in there for a bit of humour. A lot of comedy in that film, but it was a real corny production values.
But sometimes you cross the line, and the corniness is what makes it. A classic.
It's an epic film,
classic movie.
Yeah, but again, they do the adverts that you almost feel like you've watched a bloody film, don't you? It goes on for 2 minutes. You think, oh well, I know the story.
We used to have attention spans then that could sit through like a 2-minute or a 3-minute trailer.
Yeah.
Now you've got to be a 30-second clip. What is it on TikTok? You can't have more than a minute or so, can you? So minutes, your absolute maximum.
Oh God, you wouldn't catch a kid wouldn't watch something for a minute unless it was playing whilst they were doing something else while something else was on. You'll watch that in the background, and then if something happens, they might glance over to it. So you're right.
That's why they have to tell us to turn the phones off in the cinema now, isn't it? You always get that thing say, but make sure your phone's turned off. And it's not because
it was like being in the cinema then, hearing that. It's just like, make sure your phone's turned off.
It's not because somebody might ring you, because nobody rings anybody anymore.
No.
It's all about the messaging. But of course it'd be people who would be on social media while the movie's on.
Yeah.
Because you can't, whatever's the most exciting thing at the time.
Yeah.
If there's a lull in the film, obviously onto Instagram to see what's going on with the Kardashians.
Why not? It got to. But this is the thing. This is the problem that at the moment, my eldest particularly, is a Star Wars fan, right? And you got Star Wars kind of your arse at the minute. It's everywhere. I don't know. It's ridiculous. But if you say to them, go and watch the first ones then, unless they're a real hardcore Star Wars fan, they won't. They'll turn it off after 15 minutes because it's
not moving fast enough.
It's not moving at all. Nothing's happening. In a scene, you might get someone say a few words and then someone will walk across the screen. And you think, well, this is great. Look at this. Atmospheric and captivating. No, nothing's happened. Turn it off. Bollocks.
It's like if you compare the James Bond films of now to the early James Bond films.
Yeah.
When the cinematography was a nothing before, whereas now it's all action and it's all perfectly choreographed. Back then it was almost like it was a budget production, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very, very simple things and that were made, not engineered. There's no CGI, nothing had to actually work. And obviously in the 80s was the 30th anniversary of Bond, who was the classic action hero, I suppose you could say. Really, not always a huge amount of action, a lot of love. Yes.
And or lust, as we could say it.
Yeah, so they did a feature in Playboy of the women of the 007, because that was the big part of 007, wasn't it? Bond was all about the women.
Yes.
It wasn't really about Bond, not really. And so if you have a glance through
Oh, James, you have to peel that page apart.
What's happened?
Peel it open. It's all stuck together.
Oh, you carry on. But they did a feature on it. I mean, I like the advert on the back. Marlboro, why not?
Cigarettes, yes. A cowboy on a horse smoking fags.
Yes, so
obviously you got to be good.
It's probably best.
Feature of the Bond women. There was who was on the front page then?
I don't know.
Which one is she? She probably says her name on there, James.
Yeah, I'm not bothered.
I would imagine. So it's a well-thumbed Playboy magazine.
I don't know what it is, from 1987. But yes, it's got 25 years of James Bond look. I won't show the screen because it's got some bits out. But it's, silver anniversary. 2 new stars. And Playboy knew him. Ursula Andress, of course.
That's the only one I could think of.
That's not her on the front. Who else did they have? Pussy Galore. That was the one we all remember, of course. Kim Basinger, as we used to say it in the 80s, she was one of them. Or Basinger, I think she likes to be called.
Everybody's changed their names, haven't they?
Yeah. I'll see if I can find anyone else that we all remember. Diamonds Are Forever. Do you remember that? I remember the gold. Is it the gold
Goldfinger, yeah.
where she was painted, wasn't she? But that wasn't 80s, of course. But still, classic ladies in an action film.
There was a big thing about her being painted as well, because I don't know why this is vividly stuck in my mind. They whether this was true or not, but they said they had to leave a little bit of her unpainted because otherwise she would suffocate. Because apparently you breathe through your skin. I mean, science tells me that I breathe through my mouth and nose. Yeah. But apparently, I just remember it was a rumour going around at school that they couldn't paint her all over because she would suffocate.
Well, I wonder if that's because in some of the love scenes, James Bond maybe blocked off her. I'm terribly sorry for any easily offended. But he was very frisky, wasn't he, James Bond?
He was a love him and leave him kind. There was no pretense that he didn't even pretend, did he? That he was going to hang around and be a father to those children.
Yeah.
He was just like, this is we got 10 minutes now while the ski lift is stuck up in the mountains. Yeah. Let's get it on.
Mid shoot.
Yeah,
he would do something. Wouldn't he? If you want some Newport cigarettes, by the way, it's Alive with Pleasure. She's got a big beach ball there, and she's happy just to be. She looks like she's being taken hostage in that, dragged off the beach with a beach ball. But Newport cigarettes, menthol kills, kids. Menthol kills.
Just interesting to while I'm thinking about your garage again, James. Was the was the Playboy magazine in the same area?
Yes.
As the mannequin?
No.
So was it they were in different compartmentalised in separate places?
Yeah, because she gets upset.
Okay.
She gets jealous. She says, "Why are you looking through that magazine? You got me. What's wrong with me? I'm right here. Stop looking at that magazine." Yeah. Did you want a surprise?
I would love to have a surprise.
Oh,
James.
that's lucky.
I'd love to have a surprise.
Have you got a button to press, or we
No.
not got? Oh, okay. We'll do that. We'll play it now.
We'll put it in post right now.
Okay.
James's special lunchbox surprise.
It's an extra long episode now.
Well, James,
buggers. Have a little look.
What a surprise!
It is a surprise in my lunchbox.
So there we go. We're in the Transformers lunchbox.
And see what we've got in here from the 80s.
What could be in here? Is it a food stuff or is it?
Yes, it is food
it's
stuff.
A food stuff.
I'm starving.
Oh,
yes,
James.
Yes, I know.
Look at these beauties.
I know.
I see you've been at them and in them already.
Well, that's the mice in the garage. They've done that.
There you go. Flying saucers.
Yes, please.
Great thing about these flying saucers, James.
Yeah.
Is they're so good for you.
Yeah.
That they're officially declared as vegetarian.
Oh, thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
There's no meat in these, thank you. Yes, so these were around in the 80s. I think they were around in the 60s and 70s, to be honest. And they're still around now, of course. But
it's a sherbet dib dab inside. Dib dab.
Dip dab. You got the sherbety bit.
But surrounded by like soggy paper kind of thing. And then a spaceship. So very Moorish, though, actually.
They're identical, aren't they? And you know why they're the same? Because they've got E134, E100, E132, E162.
They've got all the E's.
Yeah, they've got everything in there that you'd ever want. And it's less than 100 calories per bag.
Oh, that's fantastic, James.
This is a health snack.
I was going to say, this is probably aspect people take these to the gym. Aren't they good, though?
Yeah, great.
Aren't they
have you run out there?
I've run out here, James, yeah.
Did you want this last one?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, flying saucers, just the same, kids.
That is good. I would give these a 10 out of 10.
They've not changed at all.
That's perfect.
If they were in a little beige paper bag folded over at the end, I wouldn't know that they weren't 80s. They'd nailed that. And they're made in Huddersfield, so, up north it is basically the 80s still.
This definitely is. Wow. I'm impressed by those.
I'm very
impressed.
That's the best ones we've had so far, I think.
Indeed. And what positive note to end this particular episode in, James?
You're welcome. And I've got lots more snacks I'm building up slowly in the corner of my garage. I'm fighting the rats off. And her. She bloody loves a meaty snack. Not a meaty snack.
Meaty snack. Oh my God. James.
She loves an 80s snack, not a meaty snack. That's a different podcast. But back to Playboy, aren't we? So, yes. So I've
Episode
got lots.
19 next time around. We've done action movies.
Yes.
So with some other genre.
Yeah, who knows?
Of movies. movies to come next week.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, if you were watching at the beginning of the episode as well, and you know what our mystery sound is, it is a TV sound. It is a TV channel. We just need to know what the TV channel is. Chance to win a Bring Back the 80s t-shirt or one of your comedy gigs across the south.
Wherever it may be.
If they want to find out where their nearest one is and when it's on, where do they go, James?
Stitches.fun. That's the website. Check it out. And every Friday, Saturday, somewhere across the south, there is comedy near you.
Stitches.fun. Apart from that, I will be on Easy Radio again weekday mornings 11 till 3, right after Kate Weston's breakfast show. I'll be on Nation Radio 9 o'clock after Steve Powers' Beat Surrender on a Sunday evening as well. And then back in 1 week's time.
Yeah.
With another one of these 80s podcasts.
It's relentless, isn't it?
Non-stop.
Can't believe it.
It's like with those ferrets going round on the wheel. It's a constant thing, and it doesn't matter how many of these we do, James, we get nowhere. And on that bombshell, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. We will see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this week's edition. We'd love it if you could subscribe in your favourite podcast app, and don't forget there's a video version on YouTube too. You can contact us using the links in the show notes and on the YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time for another edition of Bring Back the 80s.